I didn't think I'd have to make this video, but apparently I do, because a lot of people just do not understand why the Hornets would be even in the conversations for trading LaMelo Ball. And I just want to point this out because we've seen another move from the Hornets at this point to break apart this team. And it shouldn't be surprising to literally anyone. It should not be surprising to anyone that they wanted to blow this team up. This is the first year since LaMelo Ball has been drafted that I have seen him play significant basketball games in the season. LaMelo Ball played more than enough games last year to give me the sample size that I need from him to figure something out. And while, yes, this roster would be lacking playmaking by just getting rid of LaMelo Ball, I am here to tell you right now with a straight face that the Hornets were not going to make the playoff again in the Eastern Conference. That is the reason why this team was being blown up. And yes, Khan can develop. And yes, Brandon Miller can develop. Here is the thing that the Hornets are probably thinking right now. We got a new head coach recently in Charles Lee. We had LaMelo Ball for years. He's not good for the culture. LaMelo Ball, being one of your veterans, is not a good example for what to do on the basketball court and how to play the game of basketball. If I have to coach LaMelo Ball and I have to tell other players on the roster that you cannot play the way LaMelo Ball plays because he is just simply LaMelo Ball and his lack of ethic, playing, his skill, all of those other things that he might have and lack, there is no way it's going to be easy to coach that nigga, especially with the off-the-court problems that he has, the injury issues that he has. This team was hitting nowhere fast. Yes, divisions may not matter nearly to the degree that they once did in the NBA, where they used to just guarantee you a free playoff spot. They used to guarantee you a free playoff spot. They work this very similar way that the NFL's divisions used to work. Especially now that we're hearing talks of expansion in the league. Divisions are pretty much dead, right? But here's another thing about divisions and why they still exist right now. When you play in a division, you see the same few teams at least 4 times a year guaranteed. That is the minimum times you are going to see the Heat, who just improved, the Magic, who have a new head coach. That probably will lead to an improvement. And even if it doesn't, I want you to learn this really quickly. The Magic was the team that bounced them from the play-in in the first place. The Heat was a team that they barely beat in the play-in last year. And this is with them having one of the hottest streaks in basketball history from the start of this calendar year. And it resulted in them not making the playoffs. Think about that. The hottest streak in basketball resulted in them not even making the playoffs. And I'm just talking about those teams. Washington got better as well. You may not like how Washington is constructed. You may not think that it's a perfect roster, but Washington just went out there and got better. Halliburton is going to be back next season. The Boston Celtics are not going anywhere. The Cleveland Cavaliers, if they stay packed, will still be a playoff team. The Raptors are going to get better. The New York Knicks just won a championship. Where does that leave the Hornets? Respectfully. Because maybe you could say, okay, well, the Sixers won't be as good next year. They might be more might be more injury prone next year. Okay. Name one team that I listed that's ahead of them that they would be better than. Name one. Just one that you know off the top from a regular season perspective, not even including the postseason, because the Pistons are also going to be better next season. They might not be as good defensively with the loss of Isaiah Stewart. I don't like that move, but they just added some shooting to the roster, which is something that they desperately needed. What team are the Hornets going to be better than next year? None of them. They're not going to be better than any of those teams. And that's just the teams in the East. Then we have to talk about the remaining part of the schedule. And all I did was talk about the games that are in the division and the teams in the East. What are they going to do when they play any of these teams out west? What were they going to do? What was the plan? Do you guys know how the new draft works? Do we? Because when you're constantly getting high picks, which the Hornets didn't get one last year, you're not able to repeat them. Those picks will go down to somebody else. Do you understand why they would want to? Why would they want to? Think about this really quickly with your brain. Why would they want to remain in this situation where they are thoroughly mid towards the bottom of the fucking conference with LaMelo Ball, who is the literal definition of an unideal point guard franchise player. He's in the exact same situation that fucking Ja Morant finds himself in, except LaMelo could be moved. Oh, but LaMelo's taller than Ja Morant. LaMelo's game is predicated on athleticism, which means his injury concerns aren't nearly as big of a deal. He still has ankle injuries. That's a massive problem with him. And I don't know if you know this, but Lonzo's been playing in the league for a while. They have the exact same genetic 50-50 makeup. They have the same parents. Lonzo's knees are constantly falling off the bone. Do we think that it'll just stop at the ankles? We don't think the injuries will go up and with the stress and practice and the amount of ball handling and usage that LaMelo Ball has? We don't think the injuries will go up? On that roster that desperately needs playmaking, they're going to have to ask more of LaMelo Ball. And that's just the on-the-court shit. I told you it's off-the-court problems. Do you know this nigga LaMelo Ball is one of the worst drivers of all fucking time? And that's coming from me. That's coming from me. Me. He is one of the worst drivers, point blank, period. Nigga, get out of the whip, play GTA in real life, get out his whip, call another whip up, and get in that bitch. LaMelo Ball needs a designated driver. And he's sober. He's sober crashing in this shit. Imagine if this motherfucker was off the influence. Because I'm not saying, and no offense to the brother whatsoever, but I know he can get some of that shit if he wanted to. That nigga might be on that shit right now. And he's a PR nightmare too, by the way. How the fuck would I want to deal with that? Why would I want to deal with that? Why would I want to deal with that when I'm going to be a mid-team? It's something different. Like when Ja and them was winning out west, and they looked like they had the keys and they was the next one up. Nigga, all the injury concerns and all the other shit, we was like, I don't really give a shit. Ja looked like a top 10 player at the point in time. There's no telling where to take him. Sky's the limit. LaMelo is not that. And in first time we got to see this nigga in non-regular season basketball, like high leverage moments, he shit himself. He was fucking awful. Not only was he awful against teams that he sees multiple times a year. I'm not worried. I'm thinking about it. They lost to Orlando. He was embarrassing in that game, and that was a game that many of us predicted that the Hornets would win. And in the other game against Miami, I forget 2 of 16. You're telling me the guy who was second place in the league as far as most made threes suddenly shoots 2 of 16, a playoff moment, and now suddenly y'all don't give a fuck? Y'all don't care now? Because it's first time? I give a fuck. The sample size is telling me that he can't shoot in the postseason. Now, it remains to be seen how he'll perform out in Minnesota, but he's going to be under a different role in Minnesota. He's not going to be asked to do nearly as much as he was having to do in Charlotte. He might have slightly less usage. He might need slightly bad. He'll take some of those bad shots will probably be taken out of the thing. Now he's not the franchise guy, and Ant is the franchise guy. Maybe a lot of those bad shots will go to somebody else who really could use them. And Miles Bridges was also just traded. He was sent out to He was sent out to the Suns. Sorry, my correction. He was sent out to Phoenix. They got Royce O'Neal in the deal and Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen is a distressed asset that no one else in the league wants. He's a diminishing return guy. He's a great shooter. That's it. That's all Grayson Allen contributes at this point. He's a great veteran that can be of use to Con Knipple. Considering that they are both great shooters, I would think this is a great opportunity to have Con Knipple in the gym with someone who is a caliber shooter that we want to see him at some point in his career. Even if Con does nothing better than becoming as good a shooter as Grayson Allen, that would be an improvement for him. And then Royce O'Neal getting some more veteran leadership into this team. This team needed an entire culture reset because having Miles Bridges and fucking LaMelo Ball as your veterans does not work. It's not going to work. I'm concerned about Ant, but Ant is all in on this basketball shit. I'm concerned about having Ant as your vet, but Ant is all in on this basketball shit. And the addition of Naz Reid, another another veteran that can get this team some structure. A long time, for a very long time, we have been begging the Charlotte Hornets to get some veterans on the roster, but no one wanted to fucking go there. You got to trade for them. No vet wants to deal with the situation that shit was. They have some vets on the roster. This is a good move for them. I do not think that if they were going to maintain the pace that they were currently on, that they would be in a situation. Yes, and I said, and I'm saying this, knowing how badly I was grilling Brian Windhorst in a video previously where he said that the Hornets won this trade. They still did not win this trade. Losing out on the best player in your franchise for the first time in a team that was going somewhere in a first time in a long time, giving your fans hope and reasons to buy fucking tickets was a stupid move from a business perspective. But from a basketball perspective, it was bad. It was obviously pretty bad. But that's in the short term. In the long term, this move makes a lot of sense, and a lot of people do not seem to understand that. Anyway, let's talk about the rest of the offseason news and stuff that I got. Well, I got you here because, yeah, we need a complete 180 and tone shift on how this video is going, and I also have no idea when I will ever have the time to cover these guys again because, do you really want a video telling me? Do you really want a full video telling you that Hartenstein maintaining and being back on the Thunder would be a good idea? Especially considering how badly we saw Chet play in the postseason. Do I need to explain that to you? The fact that this team just drafted another big doesn't say that enough to you? All right, let's talk about the move that they really made. The Suns are getting this man, Miles Bridges, who they targeted in recent years, plus the less favorable of the 2029 first rounder and 2027 second rounder, as well as a $20 million tax saving opening up. That helps them a lot for free agency. They're not going to sign anyone. Obviously, that owner is pretty much a cheapskate, but keeping Devin Booker on the roster is fine. All right. This is a really nothing thing. They got a 2033 first round pick out of the Suns. So yeah, that's something that'll be beneficial for them. Ron Harper is coming back to the Celtics. I'm not really gonna talk about this. It doesn't get a lot of play. 3 years, $9 million, less than a vet minimum. Obviously, he's not that old. This is really a nothing thing. Hartenstein's getting 3 years, $75 million. That's actually pretty big. I thought by this point in the time, when we were covering this team last year, that Hartenstein would no longer be on the roster, and I thought that they would be moving on from him because Chet would be in a position and he would be at a point in his career where he would be much more developed, he'd be much more playoff tested, and we would be like, okay, we'd have an idea of why we're paying Chet $40 million. We're going to be paying Chet $41 million a season. We do not. We are in a bad situation with Chet. Chet's PR is at an all-time low, and it would be almost impossible to move him. But maintaining Hartenstein is good. By the way, the Celtics are trying to shop Jaylen Brown aggressively, apparently. That a lot of people were saying that it's probably nothing. It doesn't look like nothing. The fact they were willing to move him in the Giannis deal says a lot, but that was for Giannis. But now it just seems like they're trying to get him off the roster. I thought this a while ago. This was before they even won the championship, that paying him that contract would prove to be detrimental. The difference is they actually did win a championship. So you won the championship at this point, you definitely want to get rid of this guy. This is a stress asset for you. He had one of the biggest contracts in NBA history. If I'm him, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm good. But if I'm the league, I don't really want him either. So it looks like Boston might be stuck with him for a while. So that's tough. Jose Alvarado has made the brilliant move to decline his $4.5 million player option, and he's going to sign a 3-year deal for $14 million. That roughly translates to less than $5 million a season. Probably like what, 5.45 season. Pretty good move for him. I think it's like less than that. Did I already talk about Isaiah Joe to the Pistons? I feel like I did. I don't really talk about what they gave up. 2 future second-round picks for this. Whatever. Yeah, obviously OKC is in the middle of a retool right now. Not a rebuild, but they're just retooling around the guys around there. We still have yet to see a lot of news from the Lakers, so that's something to be on the lookout for. The Austin Reeves deal is something. We don't know where the fuck LeBron's going. I've said that before, but like I still think that it's relevant and worth talking about. So there's that. Is there anyone else that I'm concerned about? Oh, by the way, yeah, people were saying Brooklyn shouldn't be tanking still. They didn't get a top 5 pick in this year's draft. Continue tanking. That would be my advice to you. Continue tanking. There's like no reason to stop tanking. Continue tanking. Keep doing that. Keep going, buddy. You'll find something eventually. Good luck. Again, why I don't like the new NBA draft rules. I'm not gonna lie. Because teams like that are going to probably be stuck there for a while. All right. I guess I could talk about this for the Suns. Acquiring Miles Bridges for the Suns is actually pretty good. They did need a little bit more wing depth that can help. I'm not really sure about if I'm thrilled about the prospects of my locker room, including Dylan Brooks and Miles Bridges. But hey, from a basketball perspective, yeah, there'll probably be another team that we are looking at and thinking about to ourselves, because I think Portland and them are going to find themselves in the exact same situation they were in last year. Oh, actually, no, my bad. I don't know where I'm going to say this in a video or where I'm really going to talk about this, because I think before the season we'll see. Utah is actually in the position right now, yes, right now, with all of the talent that they have on their team, to make a postseason push. I know you're saying to yourself, postseason push. Yes! A postseason push. I'm sorry, am I speaking of unfamiliar language to you? Did you not understand? Yeah, no, they are in a position where they could actually make a postseason push. I think that is something to look out for. One of those teams is going to have to give up their spot to Utah. So, I don't know who's going to be. But it's going to be one of them. Clippers are blowing their stuff up, so that's something. We still haven't seen where Kawhi is going to go. He has made it apparently known that he's interested in coming back to the Raptors and or the Spurs. For the Spurs, I don't know why you would be... For the Spurs, I can see why you'd be interested in that, actually. I'm assuming Fox would probably have to be moved in the deal, but, like, if I'm the Clippers, Fox and Darius Garland... Respectfully, fuck no. Fuck no. If I'm the Clippers, I'm looking over like, yo, let me get Jaylen Brown, I guess. That would be something that could happen. Yeah, Minnesota's already made their biggest move. I don't think they'll be doing anything else. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have nothing more to say right now. Please, for the love of God, check out the previous 2 videos if you didn't see those already, because I will not be covering any more repeats and stuff like that. Obviously, Giannis was moved, LaMelo was moved. Talked about that at the start of the video. I did talk more about that previously in a previous video. Go check that out if you have not seen that already. Great. All right. For my World Cup fans, someone keep me informed and tell me what the hell is going on. I have no idea what's going on. Tell me what's going on. Bye.